Hello, my beautiful Cancerians. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing your general reading, your past, present, and future. So I just decided to actually kind of start, this new type of reading. This is kind of the startup of my new altar with the rose petals, the roses, and I pretty much have my, goblet right here that I occasionally take sips from behind the scenes. But anyway, so the human is still in the process of getting more like stuff, but we have this beautiful cloth that he had purchased for me. But also I wanted to show this vampire candle called Vampire's Blood Scent. So this is one of the candle that more or less just kind of enhances my ability with this vampire, scent to actually give you good readings and stuff. So, but anyway, let's look at your past. You start off with Two of Cups. King of Wands reverse? Oh my goodness. Okay. And the Three of Wands. Yeah. I saw that you were being offered something in the past, and the thing was, is something was kind of, you had a bit of like internal fears and worries regarding the King of Wands reversed, but yet you kind of overcame, that kind of fear or uncertainty or whatever it was, and you kind of still headed out with the Three of Wands. So this beautiful offering, this is actually one of your beautiful cards because it is a water card, as you are a water sign. So, this offering kind of made you feel a bit like maybe jittery, maybe you had some butterflies or something, in your body and stuff like that, because something caused you to get a bit of cold feet about this whole offering. But yet you decide to pursue it in the past. I mean, okay, I think it's fabulous, but before I forget, the general card for today is the Knight of Swords. So the thing is what I kind of get here is that, maybe there was a reason why this offering made you feel kind of jittery, because with the Knight of Swords, it's kind of like feeling a bit uncertain, because if this offering kind of, provided you with maybe a lack of clarity or something that just caused you to, just think, I'm not so sure about this whole offering or something, but yet you kind of proceeded with it, okay? Sometimes it's always good to do some introspection on, different levels. However, we're going to have to keep going. To current times, you get Two of Wands reversed. Ace of Wands having motivation. And then you get the King of Swords reversed, feeling directionless, just like the general card is the Knight of Swords. So, yeah, I mean, what I'm kind of seeing here is this is where you're kind of having, suffering probably from some second thoughts, because the thing is another term for the Two of Wands reversed is not feeling prepared about this voyage. Yes, it looked incredibly promising because of this offering, but yet something, caused you to actually have, this, trying to find, the positive aspects of thinking, okay, it's like, you don't always have to be fully prepared about any kind of voyage or endeavor for that matter. But with the Ace of Wands, you were trying to still find some kind of motivation, but yet you still felt incredibly directionless. So I'm kind of getting the word entrepreneur because I know there's a lot of Cancerians in this world who are entrepreneurs. But if you were about to like start up some kind of business, this could have been thinking, oh my goodness, we don't even have, we just only have the outline, but yet here's our motivation, but we still have no idea where to gather the resources, for example, So, in the future, I have to kind of keep the star reversed here, and I have a little rose petal on top of it because I'm not really allowed to show, the star card reverse. So, the thing is, yeah, what I'm kind of getting here regarding the star card reversed is that, maybe you had hoped, well, from that beautiful offering from the past, well, that it was going to be some kind of star wish fulfillment. And of course, you could also have Aquarius placements and stuff like that, especially with the King of Swords or even Gemini and Libra placements. But what I'm kind of seeing here is, you're not getting your wish fulfilled. And yet with the Five of Swords, it's also kind of not winning some kind of battle. But yet you do get Three of Cups. So what I'm actually sensing here is maybe you're finally coming to this realistic mindset to think, okay, it's like, this all looked incredibly beautiful. Like perhaps you were trying to become an entrepreneur. I mean, it doesn't mean it never will happen or, that you pretty much have to give up on it in other ways. However, maybe you had to kind of, let go of some kind of idea regarding the Five of Swords, because technically it's like being defeated because you didn't have Star Wish fulfillment, but yet you do get a beautiful celebration in the end. Okay, well, I want to clarify this just to verify it all because I want to know exactly what's happening and why, this Five of Swords reverse is resulting in this Three of Cups celebration moment. But anyway, for Two of Cups, okay, I kind of got this feeling. Well, you got the Seven of Swords. It's kind of like being deceived, and that's why, you were kind of a bit hesitant about the whole process. I mean, the Seven of Swords technically has two different meanings. On a positive note, it's about having, this really good, logical plan. You're pretty much having an excellent strategy here. It's pretty much just thinking, okay, how are we going to get from point A to point B? And so, maybe, it's like, but yet, this offering, since it is Two of Cups, it is definitely some kind of offering. I feel like that you somehow got deceived and that you dealt with some kind of con artist or like this too good to be true kind of offering. Hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that because that's why, you don't, you get the King of Wands reversed, you get the King of Swords reversed, you get the Five of Swords reversed, you get the Two of Wands reversed. I mean, something, definitely happened here where you pretty much just probably got deceived somehow. Hmm. Yeah, with the King of Wands reversed, you do have this outgoingness with the Page of Swords. I mean, it doesn't mean that it was any form of deception. Maybe it was something that required a lot of planning. But here, it's like you don't have much confidence, strength, or courage, but yet you do have this outgoingness about this whole offering or this whole plan or idea, from the Two of Cups. I mean, this could have been you and your intuition as well, and this could have also been you planning something. But even though, it's like, okay, you don't have the strength or courage, or you didn't have it in the past and stuff like that, something still caused you to say, you know what, even though we don't have the courage and strength, we're still going to have to force ourselves to proceed with this Three of Wands afterwards. So sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to kind of will follow through with something even though your heart's not entirely into it, but if you know that once you do it eventually it might get better for you and stuff like that. It's like adapting to healthy habits, even though you probably think, oh come on, hey, well, why should I do that? Can't I just wait for another week, or can I not find something different or something. Yeah, I understand that all too well. But for the Three of Wands, Fortune, yes. So this is where you were pretty much just kind of already, realizing, saying, even though we, our heart is not into it, it was definitely going to benefit us in the future, or even in afterwards with Wheel of Fortune, and that's also kind of like just saying, if we get out, it's definitely going to be our luck and fortune that's going to be on our side. Fabulous. And that's the thing is, that's kind of like realistic thinking, but it's also a sense of maturity in the sense where you think, okay, it's like, even though your heart's not entirely into it, it's like having to go to your job. A lot of humans just think, oh my goodness, I have different plans. I really have no desire to have to go into the office or have to go to work or have to get out of my bed at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, or have to do this and that. But if you know that it's going to really benefit you in the long run, that's kind of what I saw you were doing even in this combination in the past. I knew it. Fabulous work. Oof, okay. Well, for the Two of Wands, and this is where, it's like, well, something is kind of changing for you. You do get the Seven of Pentacles, but I'm not allowed to show it, so I'm going to have to show it like so. You don't feel prepared, and there's hesitancy regarding the Seven of Pentacles attached, well, to this whole uncertainty. So what is actually holding you back? Is it because, you're worried about this luck and fortune? Did you kind of underestimate something? Were you being offered something that looked too good to be true? I mean, there's this, something that is just kind of holding you back. Any form of hesitancy, like your gut instinct is saying, you know what, we shouldn't proceed with this voyage. Yes, it looked incredibly promising, but looking in current times, or maybe anything, it is a general reading, so, but whatever, contributed to you actually not having, any kind of motivation or need to want to start proceeding with this whole plan and stuff like that. I wonder if you are actually in the midst of changing course, and maybe that's what's actually causing you to feel hesitancy about it as well. But I'm going to have to turn this one around, so I'll just have to leave this like so. For the Ace of Wands, you get Four of Pentacles. Okay, so I actually do see you changing course, and the thing is about Four of Pentacles, it's kind of like being in a comfortable, position. So maybe, it's like, it doesn't per se mean that you were somehow hoodwinked or deceived, but I do get this kind of feeling that, it's like you do have this real beautiful motivation, but yet, you're only in the stability of it all. You're only in the comfort. You're not looking for excitement. You're not looking for anything, like, but it could also still be you trying to find purpose about, this whole reason, regarding the King of Wands, reversed in the Page of Swords, because, maybe, you're still trying to find, the positive aspects of like your job, for example, or, or any kind of like goal that you have in mind that you pretty much just think, well, it's like my heart is really not into it, but if I keep at it, like maybe eating vegetables instead of wanting to eat carbs or something, I mean, that's kind of also, something where you just realize that it will benefit you in the long run if you, do healthy things or you go to your job and stuff like that, Because even though you get the King of Swords reversed, Magician, Virgo, Gemini. Okay, well, this could have also, we're still, I mean, yeah, technically still in Gemini season. But what I actually see you doing is this is you will, yeah, you want to start manifesting something, want to create something, even though you feel kind of directionless and stuff like that. Because the thing is maybe, you just think, well, I'm really getting burned out with my job. So now I want to actually try to see if I can voyage out on my own with this entrepreneur idea of whatever it is or could be. Because with the King of Swords, it's like having real no, determination or ambition or motivation, but it's also feeling directionless. And that's why you actually want to start manifesting something, because that Ace of Wands could have also been, well, some kind of motivation, even though you pretty much just think, well, I'm just, living a basic, well, salary and paycheck right now regarding the Four of Pentacles. But with the Ace of Wands, I finally have this motivation and want to start manifesting something. Because regarding the Star reversed, ooh, Ace of Cups. So what I actually see is taking place in the future is, it's like you could be actually heading down towards something that is of equal or greater value. It's not exactly what you want, wish, or desire, but you are being presented with this new beautiful offering. Now, technically, the Ace of Cups is considered a new love offering, and this isn't really a love reading for that matter, but I do see this new beginning taking place because you are actually manifesting something. And well, the thing is sometimes it's just because, these Star Wish fulfillments don't immediately, will take effect on, just because, it's like, either the time isn't right, or maybe it was never meant to be, because maybe there's something of equal or greater value that's going to be replacing the Star Wish fulfillment as well. But either way, I just see that, yeah, sometimes, it's like, these situations happen where, you just think, okay, I'm going to be heading down this voyage. I have no idea where I'm heading down towards, but yet, as long as I keep at it, that's also another theme that I'm kind of getting out of this reading. So from the Five of Swords, okay, the reason why you pretty much just feel kind of defeated about the Star Wish fulfillment or this offering is because the devil is holding you back in the future. And the devil is a sneaky deity in the sense where the devil just pretty much just shows up, you know, usually in an unexpected way, or this could still be your fears and worries that's causing you to say, you know what, we're just going to have to let go of this whole idea, and we're just going to have to just give up. Because the thing is, the devil is a real sneaky deity in the sense where, it could be your internal worries, it could be your fears, it could just be, well, someone's actions or whatever it may be, effects or anything. But that's kind of what caused you to just think, you know what, I'm just going to give up on it. Because, it's like my Star Wish fulfillment isn't being, yeah, isn't working out for me. So, and the devil is pretty much just saying, yeah, you see, there was a reason for that to happen. But for the Three of Cups, you do get justice afterwards. So perhaps this voyage, this quest, that you really want to go on, maybe wasn't going to benefit you in the long run. And in the sense, that the devil is kind of sneaky deity, it could also have been, what is that phrase called? Necessary evil, in the sense where, the devil pretty much just said, no, we're going to have to let go of this. And yet, you're also coming to terms with the Three of Cups, and that's kind of like the celebratory, acknowledgement. But it's also acknowledging that, okay, we're actually going to choose something, different, or maybe you do have to go back to the, to the Two of Cups, and that's kind of giving you this balanced feeling from justice. Or you could also have Libra, or you could have also been, presented an offering from a Libra. Maybe that is what the Seven of Swords is all about, in other words. But something, will give you the sense of balance or justice, and it's going to even, you know, probably enhance this beautiful celebration that's taking place in the future. Wow. Because your vampire card, ooh, Seven of Cups, offerings, and so this is actually a very luxurious card. Why? Because you are being, presented with this very, luxurious offering of having different offerings and stuff like that. So, what I'm actually getting here is, it's like, you know, yeah, you do have kind of like the luxury, the kind of the energy to be able to actually receive and to be presented with different types of options and choices, different types of chalices to choose from. And so, maybe, the devil, it's like sometimes, the devil, like, it's like, necessary evil where they have to hold you back and to think, okay, let's not do this because it might end up in a real negative experience. And that's what kind of gave you a sense of thinking, okay, I'm balanced. But perhaps, this is also, the devil's doing on a positive note, where they pretty much just held you back because, there was something way better going to be presented to you in the future, or on a general note regarding the Seven of Cups. Oracle wants to add discipline, training, consistency, and practice. Okay, so maybe in the sense of necessary evil, maybe, the devil is trying to hold you back in a sense where, it's like, well, maybe you still need to practice more. Maybe you need to be a bit more consistent. Maybe you require more training and stuff like that. Because, okay, you do have, the King of Wands reversed in the past, meaning you don't really have much courage or strength within you. I mean, of course, it is a general reading, so it doesn't have to be applying to any Cancerians or all of them for that matter. But, it's like you do get fortune in the past, and maybe, it's like, that something caused you to kind of, start, feeling, hesitant about the current times, because you do get Seven of Pentacles of thinking, I don't know if I want to proceed with it. Yes, you do have the motivation and you do have, some sense of stability. But yeah, there's something that was just kind of holding you back, and maybe it could have been your internal thoughts that are, well, that could have been inconsistent, where, you pretty much maybe change course constantly, or maybe, it's like, anything, that does require some form of discipline and stuff like that. And maybe that's what, the devil, in other words, was trying to explain, is to say, okay, if you want to remain consistent and you want to actually, just, be successful and stuff like that. Yes, you don't get your star wish fulfillment perhaps in the future, but it doesn't mean, that it might not happen. And maybe you still have to practice and train more to eventually get that star wish fulfillment as well. Wow. Okay, well, for my beautiful, amazing Cancerians, I'm going to have to leave it at the... I mean, no, I'm first going to have to pull 3 yes or no cards, so please feel free to stick around for that. So, anyway, to speak of the devil, I can only show it like this, but it came in reverse, so it's actually a yes for number 1. Oops. So I have to kind of hold that like so. Sorry about that. So you get... Okay, for question number 1, it's a yes answer. Oof. For question number 2, it's a no answer because you got the 9 of Cups reversed. And here is the second 7 of Pentacles that came upright, which is actually technically a yes answer as well. So you get 2 yeses and 1 no in this reading. Well, my beautiful Cancerians, I will actually have to leave it out here for now. But if this reading resonated for you, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I wonder what you guys think of this new, setting and stuff like that. I can always return back to the, the other setting for that matter. But we're going to be adding more vampire themes and candles and maybe all kinds of other things to it. But, well, thank you for joining me today. I love you guys incredibly. In a few days, I'm going back to love reading. So for now, I'm just doing general and love. But if you want to have a personal reading, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, post in the little discussion box below that you want a personal reading from me, and I'll respond to you with my email. But other than that, thank you so much for joining me today. I love you guys incredibly and want to wish you all the best of luck on where this voyage will take you.